Welcome back, guys. Now we have an old rivalry for you. A matchup we last saw in week number 10 of last split. Alpha Sydney taking on Avant Garde. Avant Garde 2-0 them last time they played and secured themselves a spot at the Split 2 finals, which they went on to win. Alpha Sydney barely missed out on that land and looking for some vengeance. Alpha Jackal, these two teams, been very close in the past. Where do you see this up going?
If I had to go on last week's results, I would say this is a clean 2-0 for Avant-Garde. They've played phenomenally last week, whilst Alpha City struggling against Corvidae. But having a look at this week's performances, Avant-Garde stumbling a bit against Legacy, and Alpha City just absolutely dominating and playing almost perfect games against Royalty. So I don't know where this one's going to go. A split seems to be a safe option, although both teams do have the potential to get a 2-0 here.
I'm going to go ahead and start picks and bans in just a second here. Alpha Sydney do have the first option in this game, so we'll have to see what they choose to get with that first pick. But they are known for a little bit of an odd drafting phase. Alpha Sydney prioritizing some things that other people might not necessarily do so with.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out with the first ban. Even if you do have your own small meta in terms of picks and bans, the top picks are still going to be the same. Your Terrors, your Fafnirs, your Righteous, they're still going to be up there. And speaking of Righteous, he's going to be the first ban away from Alpha Sydney. Option back over to Avant-Garde. I could see them leaving both supports open. I know Gruff likes to play some of the more supportive supports like your Gebs, your Capris, but he's not too shabby when it comes to playing those Terrors and those Fafnirs.
Freya banned away from by Avant. Susano banned away by Alpha Sydney. So a lot of top tier picks off the board here. Avant-Garde have got the last ban. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Fafnir ban. It's going to be Nemesis instead here, however, taking that one away from Slicey. We actually haven't seen Nemesis play that much at all this split.
Been banned away pretty much most of the games with 57% ban rates, and in the games that she's been let through, she hasn't really been picked up, so it warrants why are you banning it if she's not getting picked up? And that's because the junglers themselves have their own sort of tier list in their own mind about what's good and what's bad. Some of them prefer Nemesis, some of them really like playing Nemesis, others say she's okay, and there's other better options out there. However, most supports agree, in fact, every supporter in the world agrees that Terra is a strong pick, and that's going to be the first pick up from Alpha Sydney. No need to pick up the Fafnir right now, no need to pick up Fafnir at all right now for Avant-Garde. Let's say pick up Jingwei and Yanis. They can pick their support third pick.
The Terror has only got a 40% win rate, which is really surprising to me given how strong she is as a support character. But we'll have to see if Alpha City can improve on that statistic. The Jingwei and Janus pick, pretty standard player picks for Avant-Garde. Both of those players, Rob Diggity and I Divine, love those characters respectively. Nuwa and a wheelish pick here for Alpha Sydney. The Nuwa we saw just a game ago being played by Corvidae without much success. The Awilix, though, has been played before, I believe, by Team Pandemonium. They picked up a win. Amaterasu, the pick here for Avant-Garde.
That's a very, very early Nuwa. I mean, if you pick something else there and want to pick up Nuwa later on, I don't see a reason why Avant-Garde would ban it. The Vulcan would definitely been a higher priority ban. Maybe get into something else, maybe like a Zeus would have also been a ban as well. They definitely should have thought about something to combine with this Awilix, a knock-up to make sure that Gravity Surge is going to be easier to hit. But the bans coming out, Thor, banned away by Alpha Sydney, two warriors in Urlog, Shen, and Raven taken away by Avant-Garde, giving Amaterasu a better matchup in that solo lane, not having to go up against these hyper-aggressive early-game lane-dominating bullies. Option for Alpha Sydney, it could be a Radtasker ban, making sure that the juggler probably has to go into a Hombats or a Fenrir here.
Or a Bologna. He has played Bologna out of the jungle before. It's something that's pretty unique to Liquid Renegade in the OCE scene. There's a Bologna there. It could that still could be solo lane for Old Chuckles who's played it as well. And that's the great thing about that combination for Avant-Garde is that Bologna is a flex pick for them. And so Alpha Sydney don't know if that's going to be jungle or if it's going to be solo. So when they're forced to pick their warrior here, Avant-Garde could say, all right, we might get a better matchup with another warrior. Let's pick something else. Soul and Vimana now picked up for Alpha. Actually, sorry, they already picked Amaterasu to Avant-Garde. So that Bologna is going to be in the jungle for Avant-Garde. And now they're just waiting on their support. I expect it to be a Fafnir or a Geb.
Those are the two best options out there, and it is going to be the Geb for Gruff. Really likes playing this. The Stone Shields are very, very good. Right now, I like Avant-Garde's draft, except for the fact that most of the damage seems to be coming out of 2 picks, and one of them is going to be more of a supportive style of mid laner in that Yanis. It's all really this utility-based composition to help keep the Jingwei alive, help make sure that Rob Diggity can do as much damage as possible and let him carry the game. Alpha Sydney, bit of a mixed match of gods here from elsewhere as we go into the game. Barana, he's by himself doing a lot of damage, can split push by himself as well as Swifty, but then you have knockup from KO to combine with Slicey. I just don't see where it fits in this Awheelix pick.
I mean, yeah, there's not that many, there's not much for it to synergize with. I guess it's a good kind of ganking jungler, but, you know, a lot of junglers, as I said, doesn't really provide much in the way of team fight the way, you know, something like a Thor or Hornbarts does.
I would love to have seen a Thor from this comp from Alpha City. It would have made sure that there was a lot better chase potential against Avant, because they picked Yanis up as their second pick, and then Slicey picked up this Awheelix, but already aggression on this left-hand side. Rob Diggity taking a bit low, Gruff taking it even lower as Tori's guys just going so ham there.
Yeah, and that's what you can really do with a Soul and a Terra against a Geb in the early game, who doesn't have the greatest in the world. Even the Jingwei struggles a little bit.
Look at Renegade solo right now on these mid half. He's KO making his rotation as well. Slicey trying to chase as much as possible. He wants the Swifty kill, not going to be able to find it. Slicey taking super low as well. El Chuckles going to live too. iDivine not making his rotation to that fight whatsoever.
I'm going to push a wave under mid lane, and it's just showing there that he trusts his solo laner and jungler to be able to get out of that one without his assistance. They get the wave pushed under the tower, and they're going to be able to secure the left-hand side Harpies without any contest whatsoever from Alpha Sydney.
But by not making that rotation there, Slicey gets out with a very minimal amount of HP and mana. Would probably, most likely, almost certainly have died if iDivine made that rotation. Potential dropped kill there for Avant-Garde, but it's better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Make sure you get as much pressure as possible in this mid lane.
Right-hand side mid-camps should be taken here by Alpha Sydney. I don't know if Avant-Garde will be able to get there in time, and Alpha Sydney do indeed take them down. But Liquid Renegade dashing in there, gets a bludgeon down onto Swifty. iDivine misses the unstable Vortex. Great Portal forces Swifty to take a longer path around, and now Slicey takes a bit of damage himself. Liquid Renegade giving a lot of damage down there against Alpha Sydney.
But do you remember Old Noir?
Yeah, Old War. Of course, everyone remembers Old War.
I love that. I love that character. It was so fun to play. Having 5, you could spawn an entire minion wave by yourself. It was good times.
I think there's a reason she was changed though.
Oh my god, like, if you picked her, you could split push and backdoor pretty much anything. It was worse than Loki.
We don't say that lightly. We don't say stuff is worse than Loki lightly.
But everyone's been reminded of it these days because of the fact that there is the retro Old War skin available in the Odyssey, and Swifty's going to be spawning that for today's game. It's a fantastic skin. I do like the cosmetics of it, but I do understand the reason for the change.
The left-hand side, Rana and Tori side still getting a lot of pressure down here onto Gruff and Rob Diggity, pushing those waves as close to the tower as they can get them. But Gruff and Rob Diggity being able at this stage to rescue most of the minions from the tower. And this is what the strength of Noir is right now. Rob Diggity was out of mana there, forced it back. But with that Jingwei passive, it's going to get all the way back to just beyond his tier 2 tower before he has to come down. Should get to the tower before the wave goes under.
You can't really poke a Jingwei out of lane because she's just going to be back there before the wave even gets to the tower, thanks to that passive. It's very difficult and very annoying to deal with in the laning phase, but when she starts rotating to fights, when she starts rotating to the mid lane and grouping up, that's when it's possible to kill her. That's when it's possible to get a kill over in the solo lane. El Chuckles onto Slicey as KO dives in the backside. El Chuckles quite low at the tower, and KO's going to be backing underneath behind the tier 2.
I guess that was just a failed gank coming out from Alpha Sydney. Didn't quite see what went on there. Here in the middle lane, though, Liquid Renegade gets a lot of damage down onto Swifty and to Tori Skies, and now they can look for a speed buff invade since Slicey is just coming out of base. KO as well. Avant-Garde need to do this very quickly. There is a Wrath Allied for Liquid Renegade. Good stun there from Tori Skies. Keeps them both in place. Liquid Renegade going aggressive onto Swifty. The clay minions are there, and Liquid Renegade gets a good stone shield for Gruff just in time. There is a great ultimate from iDivine as well. Gets his jungler out of trouble for now, but the Terra's Blessing ultimate is getting the movement speed up for Alpha Sydney. An excellent knockback, and Cataclysm from Gruff keeps his jungler alive, but he might fall down. He does fall down as KO gets the kill.
And there it is, a return kill for Alpha City, a return speed buff invade as well. Gonna get a bit greedy there where Avant-Garde counting all their chickens before they could hatch. Yes, they had the Wrath Online, yes, they could invade the speed buff, but its chase potential for Alpha Sydney is what makes this comp so strong. They have the Wheelix on Suku, you can't really outrun that. They have the Terra's Blessing from Torius Guys. You also have the Clear the Path from Vamana. It's a lot of distance closing from this team that's very difficult to escape from. And even with a Geb, even with a Yanis, it's difficult to escape from.
That entire trade goes very badly for Avant Garde. They lose out on teammates, also lose out on their blue buff as well. So overall, trade in favor of Alpha Sydney.
Yeah, I just realized why I didn't really like the old War model. It's that snake. It's unsettling at the very least.
You don't like snakes? You're casting OCE, mate.
Yeah, I'm not in OCE, so there's a very big difference there.
Don't worry, we'll send you some snakes so you can feel right at home.
Oh, good God. Please don't.
We've got plenty of them here. Alrighty, so 1-1 is the score line at the moment between these two teams. Not much in it at this stage of the game, and really that's what we've come to expect from these two teams. When they first met, last split it was a split, and then Avant Garde took out the series in their final matchup, largely in part to Swifty being banned for that final series. So, you know, both these teams pretty even.
Well, I can see the focus really being on El Chuckles this game, and they've already been hanging out on this right-hand side of the map, but on the left-hand side, a bit of pressure from Tori Skies and Runner onto Rob Diggity, as Gruff is still nowhere to be seen. But El Chuckles in that solo lane on that Amaterasu, very susceptible to be killed early on, and when you're using that Foxy Amaterasu skin, people don't really want to see you live.
No, no one likes the weave skin. Cataclysm there onto Tori Skies. His ultimate is down for now. There comes the Supernova from Rana Brana, knocks up Gruff, pulled in to Slicey, but an excellent portal from Ardivine prevents Tori Skies from rooting the Geb in place. There's a through space of time. Ardivine just leaving Gruff to his fate. Gruff actually blinks away. Combat had been down, and been taken away from him enough time for him to be able to escape. Rob Diggity, where the airstrike uses the beads there, despite the fact that the Wheelix ultimate was down.
Yeah, miscommunication. I mean, Gruff should have said, alright, Wheelix ultimate's down, you don't have to purify any knockups from a Wheelix in the next minute and a half. Goldfury gonna be started up, but Idivine caught between a rock and a hard place. Luckily, he can go through said rock, because balance, but Slicey says, enough of that shenanigans, you're gonna die.
A lot of damage coming out from the Wheelix. There is the Amaterasu ultimate. KO's up. Colossal Fury form. Tori Skies roots Chuckles in place. KO actually cancelled his ultimate there, rather than continuing to do damage to Chuckles.
He wanted to try and get the chase, but he was already there. Look at Renegade solo underneath his tower. Level 6 from the Bologna in the jungle. Not really been the best of performances from Liquid Renegade so far, but the rest of his team is ahead of their respective opponents. So just Liquid Renegade being behind in trade-off for the rest of his team being ahead, it's something which junglers have to accept from time to time.
And that's just kind of Liquid Renegade's playstyle a little bit more. Supporting for his team rather than necessarily carrying out of that jungle position. A more setup for Idivine and Chuckles and Rob Diggity than anything else, really. And, you know, especially when you're playing that Bologna jungle, that's, you know, kind of what you got to expect.
Well, that's what I really like about Avant Garde. Pretty much every single one of them has the capacity to carry, and every single one of them has the capacity to support each other. And every single time they've found themselves in difficult situations that they need to escape from, they've always all backed up each other. And to the point where all of them would most likely die had the communication not been on point at the time. Left-hand side of Harpies looks like they're going to go the way of Idivine. They just haven't spawned quite yet, so a bit of a contest going to be put up by Alpha Sydney.
On there from Tori Skies, rooted is Idivine as well. No knockup available from the Geb due to the Terra passive, but here comes the whole host of Avant Garde. Liquid Renegade gets some damage down onto Swifty, who's forced into that Nuwa ultimate. Tori Skies, nowhere left to run, son. Idivine picks up the kill here. Slicey, though, takes the mid-camps with a great feather step. Oh, solo kill as well over in the solo lane. Chuckles gets himself off.
You shouldn't really be dying to Amaterasu early, especially as of a mana. With that Colossal Fury up and ready to be used, it should be impossible to kill you as an Amaterasu who doesn't have significantly extendable burst. I mean, she's got, like, one thing with the Divine Heavenly Reflection. Slicey puts up a nice fight and gets a return kill. But with the Heavenly Reflection down, there's not too much damage coming out. Left-hand side, Goldfury going to be taken away by Avant Garde as running his killer to Idivine. The Wrath comes out. There it is. Trading away the mid lane up for the Goldfury.
You know, worth trade at this point in the game. Underrunner looking for more onto Rob Diggity and Liquid Renegade walls. Not quite there for Tori Skies. Swifty looking for something here but can't quite find it. I actually got confused there for a second with that Oldwa skin. I thought there was a Medusa there being played by Swifty instead of the Oldwa.
Mid lane tower grouping up by Alpha Sydney, looking to maybe take this one down, but 3 members of Avant here clearing up the way before it even gets into the tower. There's no chance of them taking it. Even with Swifty being able to spawn some minions, they're going to have to back off and just regroup and refocus.
Take a look at the graphs of the Gold Fury. You know, it's put Avant in the lead, but not by that much. Only 600 gold. Experience is actually probably around 600 in favor of Alpha Sydney as well. So, you know, even game thus far. Gold in favor of Avant-Garde, experience slightly in favor of Alpha Sydney.
And there's always this going to be question posed. With this game being even, the 2 teams we thought weren't going to be exactly even in their playstyle, is it Avant-Garde playing down or is it Alpha Sydney playing up to the level of Avant-Garde? Right now, I'd say it's Alpha Sydney playing up to the level. They've been rotating fantastically, taking fights left, right, and center. KO needs to make sure he's playing a bit safer, though, as Chuckle's starting to get built up ahead of steam in a solo lane.
Oh, but opposing that, Slicey's built up a great lead onto Liquid Renegade. El Chuckle's forced to dash away here after the Gravity Surge ult. El Chuckle's gonna fall down to KO and Swifty combination. Taurus guys is coming through here. Gruff gets Tori with the Cataclysm, but it's not going to be enough to secure the kill here. Slicey doing some damage. A great route by Tori Skies. Unstable Vortex can't do anything, and Slicey is on a killing spree now. Slicey has got himself a double kill. Now Alpha Sydney playing with a lead over Avant-Garde.
No wards on this right-hand side to catch out the rotations from Alpha Sydney for Avant-Garde, meaning El Chuckles went into that bottom side of the jungle, or top side from his side of things, completely blind, and had to get out there with pretty much zero help whatsoever. iDivine's through space and time just wasn't enough to get him out at all, and the rest of the team got baited into the fight trying to save their solo lane. And what I was talking about before, everyone tries to help each other escape, and in situations like that, you just have to cut your losses and sacrifice one person for the greater good.
Yeah, I think Liquid Renegade is now 4 levels behind and almost 1,000 gold behind Slicey. That's a bad position to be in this early in the game, and even having a Void Shield done, not going to be doing a whole lot in teamfight situations. He does have a Wrath, but it just means that with the lack of purification, he can definitely get caught out in a lot of different situations.
Early Obsidian shot here for Swifty, and it's a good build. I like the build coming out for it, but over on this right-hand side, again, an engagement over on this speed, over on this blue buff. Liquid Renegade, El Chuckles, iDivine, and Gruff all here versing down Slicey and KO, 4 versus 2, but the rotations are coming in, the reinforcements are arriving, Tori Sky, Swifty, all coming in as well. It's a fully fledged team fight, but Rana still over on his left-hand side, trying to take down the tower. El Chuckles gets killed onto KO as the fight breaks out. Great Cataclysm, possibly going to get this fight in favor of Avant-Garde.
Taurus guys gets taken down by Rob Diggity. Swift under the tower. Can't do much here. Just trying to buy as much time as he can. Try and get as much damage onto Avant as he can. They're only at the tier 2 tower, so they can't even take this objective. They have to regroup and go for the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side. Rana takes down the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side. Avant looking for the tier 1 on the right-hand side, so it's a little bit of a split push race here. Rana is at full heat at the moment, so he will be able to clear the wave very quickly. He's got a full wave of his own here. He should be able to take this tier 2 tower if no one backs from the side of Avant-Garde.
Even with the engage that happened, considering the engage that happened from Avant-Garde, if Rana was there, it would just went exactly the same way.
He's leaving the tower.
Oh, that's because Rob Diggy's passive.
It was one hit though. You spend one more basic attack there, and the tower's gone.
Well, it's so low already that it's basically down. Oh, he's gonna go for the wraparound. He's baited Rob Diggity, and he's backing.
I mean, you say it's basically down, but that's not the same as down. You're missing out on the 300 gold for every teammate you get for taking down that tier 2 tower.
I thought he was playing a very smart play there by making sure Rob Diggy was chasing him through the jungle. Instead, he's wrapping around and then basic attacking the tower. But instead, he just backs.
Yeah, if he got the tower, then it would have been a great play. But, you know, whatever. I suppose at the end of the day, it's not too big of a deal, but still, not dropping that tower. You know, it's only 300 gold per teammate, but that's 1,500 gold for your team overall. That, you know, could be the difference between completing an item and having it still at tier 2 stage.
Just get Swifty over there and put like a clay soldier in the tower. Just make sure the minions take it. He doesn't even have to do anything to Swifty.
Gold Fury has respawned. Liquid Renegade starting that one up, along with the help of Rob Diggity and Gruff, but instead choosing to back away as they spot Tori Skies out here. Tori Skies ahead of Liquid Renegade in levels as well. Liquid does still do a decent amount of damage there with his bludgeon.
No Gold Fury being taken by either team. Just the one so far falling to Avant on the earlier attempt. Right hand side though, KO in a lot of trouble. Already forced to use that big baby ultimate. Out comes the fire shots from Swifty. It's not going to be enough to save them for mana, I feel, as the sprint and the chase potential coming out from El Chuckles and the rest of Avant is too much. The outcome's clear the path, and it's done what it says on the tin, and that's clear the path.
As well as that, the Terra's Blessing ultimate gave him enough movement speed to be able to get away from the team. And now Alpha City starts the Gold Fury Riddick. Beautiful through space of time from Divine. Clears him straight away off that objective. El Chuckles picks up the kill onto Slicey. Gruff comes through, doesn't get the knock up onto Rana Brana as he is into the disapparate form. KO has returned from base. KO is looking to do some damage as El Chuckles is below 50% HP. El Chuckles gonna get out of the fight.
How fast was that rotation through space and time, as well as the Benevolence Aura coming out from El Chuckles? I mean, extra movement speed to the tune of 35%. That's... Well, it's actually only 25%, but KO gets killed to Liquid Renegade in this mid-fight. They're trying to get the tower. El Chuckles gets return kill onto Runner, and out comes the 3 turns Blessing. It's going to be KO with the stun. The Dazzling Offense doing what it needed to do, and that's stun and dazzle and bemuse the rest of Alpha City as they try and make their retreat.
And now Alpha City forced to fight under the tower. KO, a very late Colossal Fury ultimate there. Now, the Gold Fury started up by Avant. They can look to bait a fight here. They've got the vision control. They can see whoever tries to coming in. El Chuckles zoning away 2 members here. Dashes away from the Clay minions. Looking at Tory Skies. Now, Avant turning their attention to the members of Alpha Sydney and staying off the Gold Fury. Rob Didi dashes forward towards Swifty. Tory Skies dashes through, gets a root down. Divine with a snipe there. Well, a shotgun blast really through the wall onto KO and finishes off that Famana. Teleports through. Swifty taken very low. Doesn't get the stun onto Divine as he pops Purification. But he's forced away from the fight. And Rob Diggity, along with El Chuckles, can start up this Gold Fury.
I wouldn't exactly call that a shotgun blast from Divine. That was more like putting a Barrett 50 cal down someone's throat and then pulling the trigger. That's how close it was, and that's how much power was put into that through space and time. Well, a bit of trouble for Taurus, guys, as Liquid again looks to aggress, but Slicey put all by himself. Gruff can't get the knockup before Slicey gets over the wall, but he's used his Suku already. That's on cooldown. Liquid Renegade knows this. Eagles Rally completely whiffed.
It whiffed, but it prevented Slicey from going in that direction, forced him back towards the rest of Avant, and then ultimately led to his death. If Liquid Renegade had gone to land the ultimate onto Slicey and missed, Slicey could have run through that passageway to freedom. By effectively closing off the only option available for Slicey to escape, he ensured the kill for his team. So while the ultimate was off the mark, the play was on point.
Yeah, a lot of people may give other players stick for missing ultimates, but you have to think, this is ultimate really helping? If it does by closing off escape pattern, that's fine. But I still would like to see Liquid, because Slicey was so low there and had no escape with Suku, and Liquid Renegade's Bologna and scored a sprint. So there was always going to be potential to chase down and get the kill on Slicey, even if that ultimate did whiff in a position where there was still an escape path.
Take a look at the grass now after that little bit of play. 2,800 experience, 3,500 gold difference, all in favor of Avant. We've also got a 2-kill lead over Alpha Sydney, and taunting me and haunting me is that tier 2 tower on the left-hand side.
It's triggering you now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's literally one basic attack. Tory Skies could run in there, basic attack it and kill it.
Alright, so if any members of Alpha Sydney are listening, please do not take that tower, just leave it up consistently for the rest of the game. That would be fantastic, thank you.
Yeah. I love you too, man.
They're not going to leave Liquid Renegade alive for much longer, though, as they're trying to get a kill onto it, but the speed buff gets him away, as well as the Eagles rally over the wall. And yeah, I love you too, Heezy.
Gruff blinks through, Slicey falls down. There's the shotgun blast from Divine with the unstable vortex. KO in the big baby form. Tory Skies as well, helping him run away with the Terror's Blessing, but the movement speed can't last forever. The party can't last forever. An excellent route from Tory Skies actually completely disengages Avant. 3 of them were all on the very edge of the Monolith's effect there, and all 3 of them were rooted into place and ensured Alpha City could get out, only losing Slicey.
That route is so big in area. I don't know why it's that big. It's the size of a freaking lane.
I mean, it just shows that people can't miss it.
I mean, sure, why don't just hold people's hands? Why don't just give everyone Nua's ultimates as every single one of their abilities? That'll be a fun game.
That'd be fun, then I could maybe hit something.
No, you'll still miss it. You'll find a way.
I'd find a way. El Chuckles, that's like offensive ultimate. doesn't manage to find anyone with a stun, but Swifty gets the return stun onto El Chuckles. 5-man grouping from Avant Garde, 5-man grouping from Alpha Sydney here. KO going through with a clear the path, looking to get a knockup, but he himself is knocked up by Rob Diggity there with the gust. Idivine gets the shield onto him from Gruff. And Alpha Sydney a little bit healthier at this point than Avant Garde, and they have a heal with that excellent monolith heal from the Terror. So they're able to sustain against this siege from Avant Garde a little bit easier.
Idivine gonna get caught out before use purification. Slicey wants to try and get the knockup, but maybe overextending there, leaving Tommy's guys to his fate. Time does a lot of damage, and Swifty erased from existence.
Idivine teleports through to the back of the tower as well. Colossal Fury has been used. At KO, Idivine clears out the minion wave here, so Alpha Sydney's got no minions to hope for to get themselves back in, but Idivine gets caught out here by Slicey with the Gravity Surge ultimate and gets him with the Feather Step. Liquor Renegade gets a return kill onto Rana Brana. Rob Diggity under the tower, dashes forward looking to deal some damage onto Slicey, gets a crit down, and El Chuckles chasing after the jungler. KO though doing so much damage to Gruff, he knocks him into the tower and knocks him into his as Slicey picks up the kill there. So Alpha Sydney defending the tower very successfully here against Avant Garde.
2 for 2, Liquor Renegade gonna get knocked up, but no ultimate from Slicey available just yet. KO chasing down Rob Diggity. He's quite low. Fire shots might be enough to get this kill, but Sanctuary says no thank you, I want to live. The knockup coming from Rob Diggity, gonna dash himself away. No, he's not actually gonna dash just yet. He wants to fight, he wants to try and kill KO, and nearly getting the kill with the clear the path that was the Vamana.
Slicey and Tourist guys are here, they're gonna take the tower. They've got to take the tower here.
No,
Please take the tower.
They're triggering you. They want to
look at Rob Diggity. He's running away from Skies here. Knocks himself up. Dashes away. Hiding behind the wall. Is gonna back. Tourist guys might get him here. Tourist guys should get him if he gets a monolith down. Falls off the mark. Tourist guys, no! Why? Why would you not just dash at him? Just dash at him. Literally any of your abilities other than that one would have been the correct call.
Well, Monolith would also have been an incorrect call.
No, because you can monolith underneath the Terror and move them away, just like a Ymir War or an Arnher Pillar.
Yeah, well, that requires him to aim at the dash. You don't have to aim. Just point it the regular direction. Just boof. Good. But Liquid Renegade was there to defend the tower. They were never going to get there. They're never going to get the tower with Bologna there. Come on.
They could have got the tower. They would have died for it, but they could have got it.
Would have been a team wipe on Fire Giant for the side of Avant Garde. It's not
but
worth.
But they would have got the tower.
But the tower, just let it go, Yuzi. Let it go.
I'll let it go when it's off the map.
Oh god. Left hand side, Gold Fury might be touted as the next objective for Avant Garde. We're at the stage of the game now where Fire Giant is a real factor for this game, and wards should start transitioning over to this right hand side. And I don't see any wards over this right hand side as of yet.
Yeah, from either team, they're all around the Gold Fury, and they're all Avant Garde wards. I can't actually see any Alpha Sydney wards at this stage, so a huge lack of vision. Okay, there's one there just above the Fire Giant. You see a little bit of engagement here. Liquor Renegade take it to about 75% HP. Stone Shield from Gruff and a Portal from Idivine gets him out of danger. It gets him towards the Gold Fury, with what Avant is looking at. There's the new ultimate. The Fire Shards come down, seeing the 4-man grouping from Avant around the Gold Fury, and El Chuckles pushing the mid-wave. And now Avant Garde can look to bait out a fight around this Gold Fury, or start it up, and then try and find a fortunate situation. 2-man stun there from Tourist guys. Idivine takes a lot of damage, knocked up, pulled in with the Gravity Surge, and bursted down by Slicey. 2-man ultimate from the Renegade to slam down onto Tourist guys. Secures the kill onto the tower. Rana Piranha forced to disapparate. Rob Diggity chases after. Nowhere to run for this soul. Uses the Sanctuary to survive a little bit longer, but Rob Diggity, one basic attack will do it. One basic attack to secure the kill. And now he's pushing down the left-hand side tower. KO in the ultimate form there. Trying to do what he can against 3 members of Avant, but can't do too much. Rob Diggity takes down the tower. The rest of his team now starts to look at the Gold Fury.
That was a Zapman Sanctuary there from Rana Morana, just dead to rights completely. To Rob Diggity had the chase there, had the Fatalis effect from his abilities, and it was already... Rana Morana was dead, he just used the Sanctuary anyway, just to delay him that slight bit more. It's done nothing for the rest of the team, because the Gold Fury still goes away of Avant Garde. No kills have been dropped so far, apart from that one, and Idivine. Gruff maybe the next one to fall, but he probably would have fallen anyway, even without that Sanctuary pop.
And now Chuckles, good silence there. Slicey will probably fall in recompense for this kill onto Gruff. Rob Diggity is the one to claim that scalp away from Alpha Sydney. And so, overall, a great engagement there from Avant Garde. They now find themselves with an 8,300 experience lead and a 7,000 gold difference in their favor as we head towards 25 minutes.
Of our Swifties, builds got himself 20% CDR and a nice bit of penetration, 33% in fact. There's going into a second magic focus. There's 3 instances which this can go to so far. It's going to be the Spear of the Magus, which was recently buffed. give himself a bit more magical power. Spear of Desolation, which is an incredibly expensive late game luxury item, or a Void Stone, which honestly could be the choice here, because right now iDivine is doing a lot of work for the team, and its magical damage is really starting to be a factor.
And as well as that, he's tending to find himself quite close to iDivine when he's trying to do the damage, particularly with his clay minions and shiny metal. He's tending to use that as iDivine gets up on him and uses the unstable vortex, so that magical protection decrease will be effective. However, not going for it, going the enchanted spear path. So that is either going to be Spear of Desolation or what's the other one you said? I completely
Spear
forgot.
of the Magus.
Spear of the Magus. I knew it was another spear, man. I knew it was another spear.
I mean, it's picked up so little these days, but
Yeah.
what's picked up a lot more is Ranabrana's name on the death feed.
Wow,
Slicey...
that was good. Okay, that was good.
Yeah. I mean, it took me a while to get there. It took me a bit long to get that sentence out, but it was worth it in the end.
I can respect it. Taurus guy is one of the rare times we've seen him knocked up there, as he doesn't have his passive activated at the moment. So that's like one benefit of Terra people don't really talk about a lot, but it's very effective against the team comp with a Geb on it, and things like Arnher as well, because you can't be knocked back by the Impale. But no Arnher coming out for Avant-Garde, just a knockup from Gruff to worry about really for Taurus guys. Left-hand side, 2 members of Avant-Garde take down the tier 2 tower on the left, while the 3 tanks fight over here on the right-hand side. Swifty taken very low. Liquid Renegade picks him up with a Scourge. Dazzling Offensive comes out. Doesn't get the stun onto Taurus guys. The Bludgeon comes down, though. Rob Diggity is here now. Slicey actually blinks in, but takes a lot of damage from Rob Diggity now, and he's forced to back away under his tower. KO with the big baby form, it's run out, so he's very vulnerable at this stage of the game. Soul damage just barely tickling Avant-Garde at this stage. Taurus guys gets a 4-man route there, but takes a lot of damage for dashing through. El Chuckle's knocked up, pulled in by the Gravity Surge, but he's going to walk away. Rob Diggity gets a kill as he dashes between the towers. Airstrike comes through, but the Disapparate from Rana Brana is too strong, and now Rob Diggity chases after KO.
Not like the Giants Venus going to get knocked up, but again, the Gravity Surge is already down, not communicating that ultimate usage on the side of Avant-Garde. It's forcing major relic usage, which it shouldn't really be happening. That's certainly something that needs to get cleaned up as this split goes on.
Gold Fury's down, so Avant-Garde can't look at that. The Fire Giant, however, is up, and one more team fight that goes in the favor of Avant-Garde, and I very much expect to see that objective taken down.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think this is the closest game we've had so far this week. I mean, both teams still poised on a knife edge. Avant-Garde do have a significant advantage in the form of 14,500 experience and 11,500 gold, but Alpha City, they've still been able to find fights, they've still been able to find objective pressure. And how triggered are you still the fact that that tower isn't taken down, but Avant-Garde managed to get 2 towers in that lane for the amount of time it takes to take that basic attack?
Look, I'd finally started to just kind of, take it out of my life. I thought I'd moved past it, but now you've brought it back onto me again, and now I'm triggered again. I'm heading for Tumblr right now.
Well, Slicey's also triggered. He's got a 50-second respawn timer, courtesy given to him of El Chuckle. So it's, again, Slicey putting himself a bit out of position, putting himself a bit too far forward. He's got a massive amount of movement speed and utility with his build, but not too much extra damage coming out outside of the Young's Wrath and Void Shield. There's a lot of movement speed, a lot of cooldown reduction, but no sustenance to the damage.
I like the Ritual Dagger coming out from Liquid Renegade here. Both of his relics will have increased duration, the stun, wrath, and the duration of the sprint on the sprint. So, a good relic, a good item pickup here gives him a lot of health, cooldown reduction, attack speed, movement speed. Pretty much every stat you want there. Fire Giant started by Avant-Garde. It's already about 50% HP. It's about 25% HP. Great zoning here from El Chuckles. Colossal Fury used by KO, and the portal taken by Chuckles to get out. Fire Giant falls down courtesy of Liquid Renegade's Wrath, and now Avant-Garde hunting for some kills on the backside of that objective. Take Taurus guys and KO hunting for iDivine. However, Gruff comes in, gets the Cataclysm. Supernova is very strong here for Rana Brana, but not enough to pick up iDivine. Rob Diggity dashes forward, looks for Taurus guys. He gets Taurus guys. Under the right-hand side tower, though, Liquid Renegade trying to get a kill. Nearly falls down himself. iDivine teleports through, takes the tower aggro, and is forced to Sanctuary. Rob Diggity with a double kill. Slicey in the backline looking for iDivine. Might find him here in a second, but the rest of Avant-Garde is here. Great silence from our Chocolates. The knock-up is immune by the Purification. Feather Step to keep Slicey alive for one more second. Liquid Renegade, though, is going to get the kill. Only 2 members of Alpha Sydney left as Avant-Garde look for the tower on the right-hand side.
3 quick kills and a Fire Giant for the side of Avant-Garde. It's going to be the tower as well, and potentially 1, maybe even 2 Phoenixes. This could look to be the beginning of the end here for Alpha City in Game 1. Having a look at the damage charts right now. El Chuckles currently sitting well on top by over 4,000 damage. Ahead of his partner, Rob Diggity, from that ADC position, sitting on 22,380. Phoenix falls down this right-hand side. They're going to back off and reset, but Rob Diggity may not have that luxury. Through space and time has been used. Gets Idivine back into the fight, but he's missed everybody with an unstable vortex.
Rana getting out with the best sliver of health there with that disapparate form. Rob Diggity picks up Swifty. Taurus Guys has used its dashes now. Gruff gets the Cataclysm. The walls from Taurus Guys don't catch anyone. Chuckles looking for a final hit here to secure the kill, but not going to get it. Rana, a lot of damage with that Soul Burst there. The Stellar Burst on to Rob Diggity and Idivine, but not enough to secure a kill. Left-hand side Phoenix is the target now by Avant. Idivine knocked up, taking a lot of damage. The Stone Shield keeps him alive for now, but not alive forever. The Portal, however, will keep him alive. Unstable Vortex through the wall doesn't hit anyone. Liquor Renegade takes a lot of damage. Dazzling Offensive from El Chuckle stuns out too and keeps his jungler alive. And now he needs to get away as KO's looking for a knock-up, but the movement speed increase from the threshold is enough. The dash away as well from El Chuckles and Avant looking to get out cleanly here. I don't think Alpha Sydney can catch them.
And that's one of the, as I said before, Avant always making sure everybody else gets out before themselves. And this time they've actually all get out. Rob Diggity almost knocked up there, but he's going to go ahead and rejoin his team at the Gold Fury, which is going to be taken down cleanly. No contest coming out from Alpha City. They cannot afford to contest this. With 2 Phoenixes down, it could be a third any second now, as Avant, they're going to back to base, bite up their final items, then possibly have their final push.
With 3 Phoenixes down, 2 Phoenixes down on the left-hand side one with a little bit of poke, and your tier 2 tower still up despite being only 1 basic attack away from dying. You'd expect them very much to go for that final push down the left-hand side while 5 minions push the other 2 lanes. So what I'm actually expected to see here is Idivine either on the right-hand side or in the mid lane, pushing those waves down while the rest of his team concentrates on the left-hand side. Or you could even get El Shuckles on one of the lanes or Rob Diggity to push as well.
This is a very old Vamana build coming out from KO, giving the hallmarks back to the launch tournament, and when Game Hunter got that very famous pentakill, the Fatalis on the Vamana, making sure that he can stick to people whilst in that big baby ultimate form. If he goes king size next, then he probably is having a look at old replays. Rob Diggity going to get pulled in, but he's going to airstrike right out of there. Taurus Guy is going to be the unfortunate casualty for that misplay.
And Slicey probably going to fall down here as well. It's 2 members of Alpha City down. And look, instead of, the rest of the teammates pushing down the left-hand side while Idivine takes the right, his teammates are on the right-hand side while he pushes down the left. Now his teammates swinging around with some fire minions in tow to look at the left-hand side Phoenix. In fact, now they're just going to go straight through the middle Phoenix pit and try and find a kill here before they start onto the Phoenix. Rana, however, in a great position for them to go. Oh my goodness, that through space of time was on point, but the immunity that Rana benefits from was enough to save his life. KO in the Colossal Fury form, healing up, but it's not enough. The damage coming out from Avant is immense. Rana falls down. Titan falls down as well. Game 1 heads to Avant.
Who needs to take down all 3 Phoenixes when you can take down the Titan that quickly? And
Avant,
they find...
stayed alive.
It's over. It's over, Yuzi.
Still alive.
The dream is dead.
Still there.
Unlike that
me.
tower. Unlike that tower, the dream is dead.
Gonna haunt me, man. Gonna haunt me. All right. That's game 1 between Avant and Alpha Sydney done. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with our final game of the week. Game number 2 between Alpha Sydney and Avant.